Hey everybody, I'm Mike Dugan, Torrance.com. We have a very special lesson for you tonight. We're going to do a good old Beatles song. And if you haven't recognized that riff, it's called Norwegian Wood. And it's a pretty nice song with some pretty chords. Very different type of song because it's in 3/4. It's in groups of 3. So it's almost like a waltz tempo. And we're going to show you how to play it so you can play along with the Beatles. That's why I want you to get a capo if you can. I'm capoing the 2nd fret, and I'm playing it in the key of D, but because of the capo on the 2nd fret, it's really the key of E. So that's how it was played on the record. So if you want to play along with the record, and probably the backing tracks, if you would find them, would be very similar. If you don't have a capo, just play along in the key of D. It won't match up with the record, but you'll still be able to play the song. So we're going to give you the chords, and then we're going to teach you how to sing and play. And we're also going to teach you the riff that goes along with it if you're an intermediate player and can handle that riff. If you are a beginner, you're still going to learn how to play and sing the song the simplest way we can show you. So thanks for tuning in. Okay, Norwegian Wood is kind of like a folk song. It's really just a couple folk chords. Of course, the Beatles were a great rock and roll band with all these different influences. But this song was obviously written by John Lennon. In the early days, all the Beatles songs were they were credited to Lennon-McCartney, Lennon-McCartney, Lennon-McCartney. But you could actually tell which parts Lennon wrote and which parts McCartney wrote because there was 2 different styles. Some songs, even though they said Lennon-McCartney, were really obviously John Lennon. And on the other hand, some songs were all McCartney. But this is obvious to me that it's a John Lennon song, and it's kind of just a funny little goofy story. It's really about a one-night stand. If you really look at the words, John picks this girl up, or she picks him up and takes her back to her place. And the first thing she brags about when she welcomes him into her apartment is, you know, by the way, my furniture is Norwegian wood. Like he could care, like anybody cares. And he probably thought that was such a funny thing for a girl to say as she opened up her door that he wrote a song about it. Because he was probably cracking up inside, like, Norwegian wood, who ever heard of that? And I haven't heard of it except for the song. So anyway, there's actually a subtitle to Norwegian Wood. The full title is Norwegian Wood, subtitled This Bird Has Flown. And if you know anything, in England, a bird was a girl. So it was obviously a one-night stand, and basically the story is once they started partying together, she's like, I got to go to work in the morning. So in other words, you know, this party's over. And he goes, well, I don't. And he ends up sleeping in the bathtub. And that's the end of the song. He ends up by himself. So it's really a simple, silly folk song with a great title. And that's how I see the song.